lead the whole meeting. Like, you'll lead it, but I'll call the, well, you gotta start with this and then I'll read them and Josh reads them first.
Okay. I already have one of these. Okay. Okay, well, let's call to order the meeting of Tuesday, November 16th, 2021, regular board meeting for South Euclid Lyndhurst. And we can get a call to order, Ms. Jones? The roll call?
Hold on. Where is it? I thought they did the, okay.
It's on the back.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Here.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Here.
Ms. Lee,
Here.
Ms. Ryan is away on an excused absence, and Ms. Jones, here.
Is she?
Mr. Is that what we do here?
Oh, so,
So there's, wait a minute, we need to put it
I'm sorry. No, it's, we gotta do the.
We gotta go through and then go into the budget?
Yeah, then the. Yep, so, yeah, that's why it looks a lot of order.
You ladies ready?
So we
Let's
would
go
have,
into, you call the
Yep.
appointment, because I can appoint myself, so you read that.
Okay.
We just wanna acknowledge what's happening, maybe.
Okay. We
Treasurer.
explanation.
No, just,
Oh, okay.
we just have a few things.
Oh, so we have a few business things that we need to go over with our treasurer being away today. And the one is appointing a treasurer pro tempore.
Good.
Pro tempore. Please, Mrs. Falkenberg.
pro tempore.
Thank you, Mrs. Falkenberg. Pro tempore, and that will be Miss Cassandra Jones for tonight. And the motion to appoint Cassandra Jones to serve as treasurer pro tempore for the board meeting on November 16, 2016, due to the absence of the board's treasurer, Josh Hill, with such action taken in accordance to Ohio Revised Code 3313.23.
So moved.
Is that a motion by Mr. Bloomberg?
Yes. And second by Ms. Falkenberg.
Second by Ms. Falkenberg. May we get a roll call? Ms.
Mr. Bloomberg.
Yes, aye.
Ms. Falkenberg. Miss, oh, can we go first? Ms. Jones?
Yeah, I think we could still say
Okay.
aye.
And Ms. Lee, aye, and Ms. Ryan is not here.
Perfect.
All right, before we get to the liaison reports, we would like for you all to join us with saying the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So we'll go on to item 2 which is item 2, which is our communications. Items 2.1, our liaison reports. And do we have anything, Mr. Bloomberg, from the legislative?
Yes, tonight's is gonna be very brief. I am gonna reserve any of my colorful comments.
Why not? We only got 2 more months left. Give it
Oh,
to
yeah,
us.
don't worry. Liaison report, I'll save it all up for that. But there is a House Bill 454 that was introduced, and it's to prohibit certain procedures to alter a minor child's sex, to prohibit all school personnel from encouraging or coercing a student to withhold from their parent the fact that the minor's perception of his or her gender is inconsistent with his or her sex. Prohibits all school personnel from withholding information related to the minor's perception of his or her gender is inconsistent with his or her sex, and to designate this act as the Save Adolescents from Experimentation Act. I don't know about you, and I can't reserve my commentary, but let's talk about anti-child and what they go through nowadays, and being in a safe environment like their school where they can talk to people about what they're feeling. You can't hide it, and you can't govern it in a way. It is what it is, and these students shouldn't have some stupid bill that makes it difficult for them to deal with challenging issues such as this. Oh, and did I say that came from Gary Glick? This is on the record, right? And Diane Grendel. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Where are they from yet?
Oh, really? The Republicans?
Southern Ohio?
Oh, Vickery and Chesterland.
Ohio?
Which was a little surprising.
Ah,
So let that be on the record. Shame on you. Okay, I'm
That's
done.
it, okay.
Mrs. Falkenberg?
Okay, amen. I have two, and I'll try to make it short. The first story comes from Marshall, Texas, and this is actually a good thing that came out of Texas. Darius Bailey, he is a first grade teacher at Sam Houston Elementary School who comes from a long line of teachers, and he has, excuse me, he realized that students obviously like to sing and dance and move, even at school, excuse me. So he decided that he was going to try to bring some music into the classroom. It started when he was working with gifted and talented students, and they were writing songs. So he volunteered to help, and he brought his keyboard into school, and they were loving it. So then he brought it into his first grade class, and they were singing. He made up a song with them. They were singing while they were doing math, and he said that he saw from that day on that the music helped them focus. They really got, moving and enjoying math, which is, I think, always a good thing. And as most of us know, if we've done any kind of work on the brain, not that I've done work on the brain, but for those who have worked on the brain, they say that music and math are closely related. So he says he has seen progress in math and in spelling, and it's been phenomenal.
From the music therapy?
Yeah,
Oh,
just from that
cool.
music, yeah. And they keep singing this song that he and they wrote together, while they're working. So I thought that was really exciting. The second story is about research, and it kind of goes, it's similar to the one that I gave last month about the kids who were researching in Salem, Massachusetts. This one is from Michigan, and it deals with 4th and 5th grade students who were doing research, and they came across many artifacts, some trophies and some old jerseys of, sports people that were in sports in their schools. And so he decided that it would be valuable for them to do a little research on these individuals. Some, were not, they couldn't even find their real name, and so they had to really dig to find information about them. And the kids were so excited, they kept, they pull out a trophy or a jersey and say, it's so cool to think I'm holding something that somebody 90 years ago wore. The trophies, finding out more about the sports that were played back then and how the students then did, and then even, what they were involved in. Some of them had gone to war, so it got them immersed in history as well as the active research. So I thought that was really exciting. Anytime you can have a real life situation in the classroom, I think it's fabulous. That's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Falkenberg. I like that. Those are two good reports, actually. Thank you. Now we'll go over to item 2.2, our superintendent's report. Dr. Reed?
Well, good evening, everybody. I have a couple items here. First, I'd like to congratulate all the SEL staff who were granted a Legacy Grant Award. And so I'd like to share that with folks this evening. We have Sunview, Carly Helmet, Mice Are Men, and that is a $1,500 grant. We have at April Buchanan and Riley Park from Greenview 5th and 6th grade teachers doing some, it looks like some creative, it's a science seeding, and that is for $4,900 over there at Greenview. We have Angela McMasters from Brush closing the STEM. That is $3,900. Laura Mayer, Memorial Digital Art Technology Enhancement, is $4,300. Tina Zawicki, Sunview Makerspace Station, $648. We have Christy Myers and Bridget Johnson from Brush, the Guidance Wellness Center, $2,000. We have Michael Beck from Brush, the Graphic Novel Library, $2,900. Erin Mazurek, Greenview, putting the pieces back together. I know she does work with STEM, $3,900. And then Melissa Kanowitz, Memorial Mental Health Wellness for Adolescents Part 2, $2,400. So again, I want to congratulate the SEL staff for submitting their legacy grants, and of course, always would like to thank Legacy Village for the partnership that they have with the SEL schools. So there will be another round of awards in, that total is actually $26,634, and there will be another round to apply for awards on February 21st is the deadline. The other announcement I want to just make is really exciting. We opened up yesterday the ARC Quick Med Clinic. That has been for a few years in the making. It's always been part of the vision of our district and this leadership team we started a few years back with regards to the ARC Fit Lower for our students, ARC Fit Upper for our staff. We have an exercise science and sports rehabilitation Excel Tech program. And probably for the last year and a half, we've been looking to bring a clinic to our district, and it came true yesterday, and there's just a lot of different people to thank. It's always been a part of my vision to make sure we take care of the health and wellness of our students and our staff. But we've had a team of people from Melissa Townsend, Mike Murphy, J.C. Collins, Don Cable, and a bunch more that actually, we worked on a lot of different things, and I worked on the legal part, Melissa worked on with the student services, Mike did facilities, and Mr. Cable did as jack of all trades whenever we needed him stepped in there. And J.C. Collins is not here this evening, but we appreciate his introduction to the folks from Quick Med, and we're very thankful. Ryan Dugan is now being passed the baton as part of his role for the district, and he will be our liaison. Again, as it's a work in progress, but I want to tell you, on the first day open, we had 8 staff members take advantage of it. So we're really excited about that, and we'd like to actually, as things get rolling, we'll do maybe more of a discussion on some of the things that we're doing there. So it's available to our students and our staff. And I have to make this plug. We took advantage of our ESSER funds, which are federal dollars. People always want to know who's paying for this. Well, it's not local taxpayers, it's not general fund money. We were able to capitalize on some of those federal grants that we got. So thank you, everybody, for making that possible. So that concludes my report.
Well, thank you, Superintendent Reed. Item 2.3, public comment. Mrs. Jones, do we have any public comment tonight?
I believe we have one that came through email means. I will just read it and then I'll make the comment on it. So this is a public participation request from Mark Akins. If he was here, he would be given his address, so I don't want anybody to think I'm giving something that should not be issued. 5615 Warwick Drive, Parma, Ohio. And the comment states, what measures are being taken to be compliant with the NFPA TOE? Is there a safety budget? I do believe that comment was addressed with the treasurer and our Mike Murphy, our business director. It's my understanding that it has something to do with some structural things, some engineering things, and I do believe Mr. Akins is a Brush graduate, so I believe there is a meeting that Mr. Murphy has already set up with him, so there is no need to respond any further to the comment, but we just want to let Mr. Akins know we do have the comment. It's good when you have alumni back in, kind of walking the ground to see where they came from and give us some assistance. So He is from the Brewer Garrett Company, which evaluates buildings overall from electrical use to designing buildings upgrades and renovations. So nothing out of the ordinary that we don't already do. So,
Correct.
beyond that, I don't believe we have any further public comment. I have not received any. Look at my email to make sure.
Anyone in the audience, would you all care?
There's nobody here.
That is all I have for public comment this evening, Ms. Lee.
Thank you. We'll go to item 3.1, which is viewing the minutes from the October 19, 2021 meeting. Will be approved as recorded or corrected. Furthermore, the reading of these minutes will be waived. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
It's Ms. Falkenberg and Mr. Bloomberg.
If I can get a roll call, Ms. Jones?
Any questions or comments?
Oh, any questions or comments?
Hearing none.
Hearing none. Get a roll call.
We're team.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg, Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Jones. Aye.
Bear with us, please. If you are watching, please bear with us. Item 4.1 will be our financial reports. I will pass this over to you, correct, Mr. Hay?
Actually, no.
Oh, are you doing this?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
have to
Ms.
read it
Jones,
for Josh.
yeah,
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Hayes is gonna take the minutes, for us.
Oh, okay. So, Ms. Jones, my apologies.
So item 4, treasurer's report. Item 4.1, financial reports for October 2021. The South Yuba Lyndhurst Board of Education is being asked to fully consider the financial reports for October 2021 as followed. Mr. Hill did release to us the financial reports, the fund SCC, the summary check register, and the SM2 report. They all were attached. The 4.2, bank reconciliations. South Yuba Lyndhurst Board of Education is being asked to consider the bank reconciliations for the month of October 2021. Those were also attached. Item 4.3, investment earnings for October 2021. South Yuba Lyndhurst Board of Education is being asked to consider all investment earnings for the month of October 2021. These are the investment amounts from our CDs, our MMAs, and our Star Ohio investment accounts.
And Board President Jones, for 4.4, before we move on with that, Mr. Hayes is prepared to give a summary in Mr. Hill's absence. Just want to let you know before we go to approve it.
Mr. Hayes, we'll just go right into the 4.4 5-year forecast, and that would be the forecast from 2022 to 2026. It was released to our board members as well, if you want to briefly run down that from your office.
That's the first attachment.
Yep.
I can't see from there. Mr. Capel, can you read it for me?
Sign in.
Yeah, okay. Here we go.
Turn on the wireless keyboard and see.
There we go, thank you.
Listen to me at work every day.
And it's not, it's a little slow.
If your name is right.
Using
Yeah.
the sheet behind it? Yeah.
Yeah, we need a sheet behind it. Without it.
Oh, can you minimize it?
Capable to the
Hold on one
rest.
second, you might be able to just minimize
Okay.
it to,
Oh,
there we go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Capel.
Considering I can't see.
I was about to say, can you see from over there, Dr. Reed?
No, I can't.
No?
Good evening, everyone. So we're gonna start off with the revenue, and our first line is gonna be 1.01, our general property taxes and real estate. And that equates to about 76.8% of our general fund revenue that we receive for this fiscal year. The 5-year forecast reflects an increase of 1.84 million in fiscal year '22, which is mostly due to the additional half-year collections of the 5.9 mil levy, and an adjustment for some decrease in collections due to the economy. The estimated total revenue for the year is 47.3 million, And the estimated for fiscal years 23 through fiscal year 26, we assume some decrease in collections due to the economy, and therefore our assumption is that our revenue will be about $47.2 million.
Okay.
Our next line is 1.035 unrestricted grants and aid, which is about 8% of our revenue. The roughly $3 million drop from fiscal year 21 to fiscal year 22 involves our new funding formula and carving out the private and community school funding. Based on the new funding formula, the private and community school funding goes directly to them and does not flow through the foundation formula any longer. And we did not anticipate an increase or a decrease for future biennium budgets. Also in this line is casino revenue, which decreased about $135,000 due to COVID for fiscal year 19, and no increase from that amount has been assumed. The estimate for this line for fiscal year 22 is $4.9 million, and no increase is assumed from fiscal years 23 to fiscal years 26. The next line item is 1.04, restricted grants and aid, which is 1.4% of the revenue. This line is comprised of our catastrophic reimbursement and economically disadvantaged and career tech funding totaling about $885,000, and we assume no increase for fiscal years 22 to fiscal years 26. Line item 1.05 is our property tax allocation, which is about 9.4%, and that's directly correlated to the general property tax line. This is where the homestead and rollback reimbursements, or the 12.5% reimbursement that the state gives to schools to make up for our taxpayer discount revenue that the district didn't receive. The total for the year, for fiscal year 21, was $5.8 million, and no increases assumed for fiscal years 22 to fiscal years 26, because the new levy passed in May 2020 does not qualify for these deductions. Line item 1.06, all other revenue, which is about 3.3% of our general fund revenue. We have an estimate just over $160,000 drop from last year actuals due to tuition revenue and interest earnings. No increase is assumed for fiscal years 23 through fiscal years 26. The next item we'll go to are expenditures. Personnel services equate about 55.8% of our expenditures. All three unions agreed to a 2% increase for cost of living for each of their 3-year contracts. The personnel services updated for fiscal year 22 is $34.4 million, which is a 4% increase. A 4% increase was assumed for fiscal years 22 through 24 based on the 2% cost of living adjustments and a 2% step increase. For fiscal years 25 and 26, we only included the 2% step increase because we haven't agreed to those contracts yet. It is important to understand that the increase does not assume that all staff will receive a 4% or a 2% increase or a 2% for fiscal years 22 through 24 and 25 and 26 respectively, but that is what we have to forecast, as that's the overall salary expenditures will increase. Line item 3.02, which is for our retirement and insurance benefits, is 22.5% of our expenditures for this fiscal year, and that is about $13.9 million, and it includes all benefits for current staff except cafeteria staff, which are paid out of a different fund, and a handful of teachers that are paid out of our federal grant funds. We saw a sizable decrease in retirement payments which is directly tied to the decrease in personnel service amounts. For fiscal years 22 through 26, the district has projected individual increases to each section included in that benefits line, which is roughly about 5% overall. For line items 3.03 through 3.05, which are purchase services, which is about 12.8%, supplies and materials, which is about 4%, and capital outlay, which is about 0.85%. We estimate that there is a $7.8 million expenditures for purchase services, $2.5 million for supplies and materials, and $524,000 for capital outlay. For fiscal year 21, the district's spending was vastly reduced about 360,000 lower than fiscal year 21 due to COVID and the use of ESSER dollars when possible. For the district's budgeting process of fiscal year 22, we looked at every budget line item in depth, and Josh challenged the admin team to cut 10% off of the current year budget whenever possible. While it was a tough process, because he also challenged them to get out of the habit of being reactionary and having to come back for additional budget dollars, because he would typically say that if it wasn't in their budgets, it would have to wait to the next budgeting cycle. No increases assumed for fiscal year 23 through 26 due to the implementation of zero-based budgeting model, which will continue to be used when the district does their budgeting going forward. At or below will be the goal going forward, with every dollar being scrutinized. Overall, the ending cash balance is expected to decline from for this forecast, which is fiscal year 22 through 26, we had a cash surplus of 16 million at the end of fiscal year 22, but we estimate a deficit of 9.9 million at the end of fiscal year 26. It is not expected, however, and we will implement corrective action over the next couple of years in order to reduce our expenses and in order to delay as long as possible the need for additional revenue. The forecast is a worst case scenario, always assuming increased expenditures and flatline or decreased revenue. Barring a drastic, unforeseen decrease in revenue or an increase of expenditures, we should always finish better than projected, and the zero-based budgeting should help that as well. With continued efforts of fiscal scrutiny and the passage of the May 2020 levy, I'm confident in the direction of the district's finances, even with the unknown effects of COVID-19 moving forward. And that's it.
Okay, Mr. Hayes. Thank you for that report.
No problem.
First time's a charm. Hope you didn't sweat too bad.
Got a couple text messages that I'm
Thank you for that.
Viewership went way up.
Item 4.5, donations. The following donations are being asked to be approved by the Board of Education. We've got $1,500 from 1888 Ohio Comp. The purpose of that is 75 $20 gift cards to be distributed by the district. Ms. Thompson, do those still come through your office for distribution?
The donation?
Yes.
Okay. The $50 donation from Allen and Effie Hull for the Ian Hull Service and Integrity Scholarship Fund. The EMCT Memorial Scholarship Fund, $80 is one donation, $250 is the other. That is from Janal Ellie and Eldridge Ellie Jr. for that scholarship funds, which has continued to benefit our seniors who apply and are selected. You are being asked to approve a number of generous donations to our schools. 4.6, approval of the treasurer's items as presented. May we have a motion to approve those items?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bloomberg, Ms. Falkenberg. Any questions or comments? I just want to say thank you for all the donations. Thank you for the treasurer's office insight. I mean, I know you all don't do it alone. It takes the collaboration of all the district to do their part at preserving those finances. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for their levels of contribution.
If I can get a roll call.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Jones. Aye.
Okay, we'll go to item number 5, which are superintendent items. I will pass it over to you, Dr. Reed.
Okay. Well, good evening, everybody, again. Under 5.1, recommending to the Board of Education to approve the administrative assistant exempt salary schedule. Again, part of this, actually, what I need to do is close out of this for a second. Mr. Capel? Yeah, I need to go back in for, can you close out of this? Right there. Yeah, I apologize, we've got to go back in through a different route here. I got it now, thanks. Okay. Just bear with me, there's multiple different, I just want to make sure it's on the right one here. Okay. There we go, okay. So I apologize, we were just not on the right page there, so we're at the correct one. Recommending under 5.1, the administrative assistant exempt salary schedule. This actually is part of, there were, in our last negotiations, there were 5 positions that came out of OC 207 due to the nature of their work in the treasurer's office and human resources, because there is a lot of confidentiality. And so because of the positions, they're known as now exempt. So the administrative assistants, there are positions that already exist, but now some of those positions that came out of the union are called exempt. So with that being said, a new salary structure had to be designed, and there are 3 different levels of that's exempt salary structure based on the level of responsibilities. Some responsibilities have a greater level of responsibility, and so of course they're in a higher pay scale. So again, I just want to explain to people what we're asking the board to approve. And then under 5.2, the next step is actually again identifying those folks that, I shouldn't say people, really it's positions that that were affected by moving from to exempt status. So 5.2 is asking approval for those positions, as well as other adjustments that needed to take place based on the new salary structure and level of responsibility. So that is 5.2. And then 5.3 is asking the board to approve items 5.1 and 5.2 of the agenda.
Can we get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Ms. Falkenberg and Mr. Bloomberg. And if I can get a roll call, Ms. Jones?
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye. And Ms.
Ms.
Jones?
Jones. Aye.
Item 6 is superintendent's item for certified personnel.
Okay, under certified staffs, 6.1, recommending to the Board of Education to approve the following personnel items for certified staff. As you can see in this area, we have a retirement, and again, I hope because of being able to get people out more in public that we can maybe say a proper goodbye towards the end of the year. But Mr. Rash, school counselor at several of our buildings, will be retiring at the end of the year, and he's just done such a fabulous job for us, so I just want to make note of that. We have a few paid leaves of absences and a few unpaid leave of absences, and also paying for a compensatory instructional tutors under 6.1.
Okay, if I can get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
No, I just want to say, having worked with Dave for so many years, it's going to be a big loss when he retires.
He's a kind man.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
If I can get a roll call, Ms. Jones?
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Jones. Aye.
Number 7, superintendent items for classified
Okay,
personnel.
now we are moving on to classified personnel. Recommending to the Board of Education to approve the following classified personnel, that is for those listed as their non-teaching staff. And there are several appointments that we have. We will be hiring an administrative assistant to the treasurer, but will not be coming forward till December for a proper transition. We have a few changes in assignment that we do make note of, ratification of resignation, and against several paid and unpaid leave of absences. We have approval of some substitutes, bus aides and custodian, and again, also approve of transition days for the new administrative assistant that will come on board.
May I have a roll call or motion, please? I'm sorry.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, if I can get a roll call, I'm sorry. I was reading something, I'm sorry.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Jones,
Aye.
And item number 8, superintendent's item supplemental contracts.
Okay, 8.1, recommend to the Board of Education to approve the supplemental contracts. As you can see, we have several coaching positions for our winter sports. And this is the section we usually memorialize our unpaid volunteers here as well. I believe that's all for that section.
Can I get a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Bearing none, if I can get a roll call, Ms. Jones?
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Jones,
Aye.
Item point 9 for business, we have no items. All right, look at there.
I know, he's happy.
Item 10, academics, technology, and innovation.
This evening, you're going to see several items. Again, for those listening, we do always, day field trips, we don't typically get board approval, but when they're overnight or extended or out of the state, we do ask for approval. Sometimes these things already happen by the time we get them on the Board of Education. So 10.1 was the art department at the high school had an opportunity to go to, I believe, the Pittsburgh area and see several museums there. And I do want to say, with regards to, we've had a layer for approval before I go through here. They not only have to submit the how it's related to the curriculum, if it's academic or even if it's sports related, we are requiring them to submit the health and safety protocols of either the location they are going to, like all the museums that they visited, or actually if it's a tournament. So it will not get approval unless those are attached and discussed, and those items go through Mr. Capel's office. So we have 10.1, as I said, we have the AP Studio Art. 10.2 is the basketball program going to Indiana. 10.3, a flying with, I believe, the hoops with Dayton in the Dayton area. And then another one with regards to in Michigan. One of the things that happens at these places here is they're actually college showcases. So the student athletes, whether they're from Brush or whatever place, that these are ones with regards to college coaches are there, and the students have an opportunity to be noticed by college coaches if they so choose to go on to the collegiate level. And then 10.5 is approval of the technology, academics, and innovation items.
I have a motion to approve.
Oh, so moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Well, I do have a comment.
Okay.
And Dr. Reed, I appreciate you adding that these are college showcases. In none of the write-ups that Mr. Mason put in, did it say anything about that? And I find that to perhaps be one of the most important
Sure.
reasons for our students to go to these out-of-state or far away from
No,
South Euclid,
Yeah.
versus it would be a great opportunity to play basketball against other boys.
Sure, and one of the things, that I've been doing this for a while, and I'm familiar with these, and so that's why I wanted to make sure, like, why would, you travel? They are, the good news is they are invitation only. So what it means is because our program has gotten some national attention, and so that's a good thing for our students, and that's why we're gonna take advantage of it. I am pleased to say, and I'm really happy with regards to our girls' basketball program, we equally want to give them the same opportunity to be showcased, and I know Mr. Ross, our athletic director, has been doing some diligently work with that, and Mr. Coach Winters as well. So I just want to say stay tuned, because our girls program is getting attention as well, and we hope to have some up there where they're being showcased as well for our female student athletes too.
I would also like to bring it to everyone's attention though as well, because we are now independent and not in the conference. It was actually very hard for our coaches to actually find teams in Cleveland area who was willing to play us, because we actually are so good. And that's the truth. Chet had a hard time, him and Mr. Ross, trying to field games, and Damaris Winters as well. Like, I literally was going in between myself last week at Capitol Conference trying to get Chet games, and as well as Damaris with other schools. So they have had a hard time. But I do want to point out, because I do agree with you saying, Mr. Bloomberg, but in the thing, I don't know if I saw it, but he did, in answers questions 2 through 5, he clearly did state why it would be beneficial for the boys to actually go do these tournaments that they do participate in. I will also say, and I speak to, because I've actually been to a few of them, and I will commend Coach Mason, because the one thing he does do, he puts his boys at the forefront of everything, and I'm appreciative of that. There are several, when I tell you there are hundreds of college coaches that are walking around these places. That's actually how a few of our kids actually were able to get scholarships that they have now, like Antoine Wolfworth, because if we are aware, he actually was looking at football, but went to a tournament this past summer with Coach Mason and signed to Rutgers, a full scholarship.
Well, Ms. Harris, I'm not gonna say that Mr. Mason did not fill in, but hearing what Dr. Reed said.
Oh, I'm just saying, as a board member though who can read, I read it through 2 through 5. That's what I'm saying.
Far more important of reasoning to participate in these than it would just be a cool experience.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'm just saying it would provide it to us, and that, so our part is to be accountable for what we read and what we see and what is sent to us. So I'm saying, because your comment was that you didn't see it included, when it literally was in all of these included, because I made sure I read it myself.
I did not say that he did not
Okay.
provide reasoning why. He
Okay.
left out what I believe is perhaps one of the most important reasons, and that is that these kids are good enough
To be
to
seen.
be seen by college scouts,
I get what you're saying.
and this provides the opportunity. And so I'm glad that Dr. Reed shared that with everybody.
All right, any other questions or comments? You can get a roll call, Ms. Jones.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Jones,
All right, superintendent's item for student services and strategic partnerships is nothing.
Yeah, too.
I was shocked when I read that this weekend, Ms. Thompson. So item 12, superintendent item for exceptional, I can't talk, exceptional students.
Okay, I'm doing double duty here, bear with me. Under 12.1, recommend to the Board of Education approve the tuition agreement with the Cleveland Clinic Learner School for Autism. Again, we do have to provide services for our residents, our students, and some are within the district, and some have to be provided outside the district. And so you're going to see some contracts with some agencies that are actually where students are placed out of district. Under 12.2, we're looking at the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities technical support team agreement, and that's pretty much really what it is actually to provide us support services for some of our exceptional students. And then under 12.3, it is recommended to the Board of Education to approve the ESC, which is the Educational Service Center of Northeast Ohio, and I believe for this one, it is for our Gifted Services Coordinator, who's worked with the district for several years. And then under 12.4, recommend to the Board of Education to approve the following exceptional students items, 12.1 to 12.3.
Thank you very much. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. That's all y'all have to say
Falling
today.
back and forth.
We have a roll call, please, Ms. Jones.
I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Any questions or comments? My apologies, Mr. Bloomberg.
Remind me, do these tuition dollars come out of general fund or special fund?
So two-parter now, and I'll let you, I think in some cases, we get reimbursement in some of the cases because it's catastrophic cost, and then Mrs. Moles, if you want to kind of explain that, so.
So our tuition for our out-of-state students is general fund money, so that we can get reimbursed. If we use any of our special dollars, we're not allowed to seek any reimbursement.
So in other words, if we use federal, like our federal dollars, we can't seek reimbursement. But when we use the general fund money, there is, because of the, I don't know, do they call it, what kind of cost?
It's the catastrophic cost,
Yeah.
and anything over what it would take to educate a student in district, we are allowed to submit for.
A reimbursement.
Yeah.
So we're getting most of that back from the
We're
state?
getting a percentage of the overage back, yes.
Okay, good. I mean, my issue is not denying or saying these students aren't deserving, but we have 3 students, which is a much greater outlay than perhaps other districts. Some might have more, others might have none.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're not a rich district, so what's the state doing to allow us to serve the students that we have to serve, but lessen the financial burden on the district? And you
And this one
answered
in
that.
particular is for a student who just moved in.
Right, no, I read that, so thank you for that.
So happy you're back. If I can get a roll call.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Jones, aye.
Before we go, that concludes my section, but before we go on to the board section, you're gonna see two-parters. There are gonna be some that are just for first read and some that we did last month that we're gonna be approving. Just to let people know how policies work. They usually come in 2-3 times a year, and so a lot of different policies, hundreds of policies. I work with my team to review. These policies are based on changes in legislation. Some are revised and some we really don't have too much of a choice with regards to, because we have to align our policies with legislation. So I just want to, there seems to be a lot. It is that 2 times a year, one in the fall, and you're going to see out in the spring again, usually policies will come through.
Gotta love it. All right, so item 13, Board of Education, 13.1, any information? Any information? You got anything?
Well, I don't know if this is the place, but I would like to congratulate my 2 newly elected term, Cassandra and Catherine, to another term of the board.
Thank you, Neil.
Kudos, ladies.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you're welcome. I mean,
Congratulations.
She's not sure who she is this evening.
I don't know. I got a little bit of life left in me, so I'm gonna try to run
We got work to do.
these last 8 years with this administration and, see if I
That's
can
capable.
continue to.
That is capable all day long.
I do have a piece of information. So I just want to read this because I like when we get fan mail. So this is a thank you letter from Gary Morgan's Brush High class of 1971. He wants to thank Mr. Williamson for the wonderful tour of Brush High School that was provided as part of their 50th reunion a few weeks ago. Mr. Williamson, you very graciously took time out of your busy schedule to give us an extended update regarding the school, answer our questions, and then show us the many new facilities that have been added to Brush. Your tour was a signature event for our class with about 75 members joining you for 2 hours on Saturday morning. Saturday morning. We work Monday through Friday. I just want that to be known. He gave everything he had to be here before that event started, during that event started, and answer questions. We were impressed both by your dedication to Brush as well as all of the improvements that have been made to the school, and it was a pleasure to be able to meet you personally. Shortly before the reunion, I had suggested the possibility that in conjunction with the tour, members of our class could meet current Brush students to benefit from the knowledge and career paths that we have chosen. You and I agreed there wasn't enough time to organize the event, and they are looking forward to working with Mr. Williamson to see if they can continue to keep that collaboration and connection. So I do want to just read that. I mean, I know sometimes we don't get a lot of the.
You said he was
accolades
class of
there.
71?
71, they had a 50-year reunion.
Wow.
And I believe he said several people posted photos of the tour, and they have a photo gallery somewhere. They'll let that be shown. So thank you, Mr. Morgans, for your kind words, and to the class of 71 for taking the time to come back. 50 years is a milestone, and sometimes you just kind of don't think it's as important, but I appreciate that. I just want to make sure we got city council meeting.
I believe I'm on.
Oh, yay. Thank
So
you.
is that you, Neil? What is this, November? No. December.
December 9th or something?
December 6th for Lyndhurst and December 13th for South Euclid.
Yeah, it's in my calendar.
So
Going
you'll-
out with a bang, Bloomberg?
Going with a bang.
Go with a bang.
Make sure you let them know. And, the senior class of 2022, 2022, yeah, is still doing their fundraiser and raffle. I believe some pretty good prizes are being won around here. Food, folks, fun, BW3, car washes. So if you all had purchased those tickets for the raffle, keep watch over your emails because real people are winning.
Real people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also wanted to say that this Friday and Saturday nights at 7 o'clock, our kids are putting on a play, two comedies, Check Please and Check Please Too, I think it is.
Mhm.
So I hope that will be well attended.
You know the
Guys do
hours
a
of
great
that,
job.
Jeff, by any chance?
I
Pardon
can
me?
tell you right now.
I just want to put it in my calendar because I always.
7 o'clock,
Thank you.
Yeah.
On Friday?
both, I think.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
yes.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not sure the time on Saturday.
It might be a matinee on
Yeah, it could
Saturday.
be.
Oh, I
I
don't know.
think they
didn't see
tweaked
that.
the time a little bit, cause last time it was kinda early, so they didn't get a lot, but I think there's a link on the website
It
where you can
said
actually
7
purchase
on
your
our
tickets.
website.
Oh, perfect.
Definitely
I'll
7
go
on
online.
Friday.
So
Everybody
definitely
else
7
knows they
on
can go
Friday.
online as well to purchase tickets to support our children. We support them in everything they do, which is why we sit here every Tuesday, the second and third Tuesday of the month.
And when is our next meeting? I don't have it there.
Our next meetings are scheduled for December the 14th and the 21st. Families, don't forget that Thanksgiving break is next week and the children are home for 3 days. Mr. Capel is not able to assist. And no, we will not be giving free lunch. I just had to say it because somebody did ask me that question, I'm sorry. But no, we're gonna be providing free lunch. So we'll go on to item, that was all for Board of Information, okay. Item 13.2, new and unfinished business. We have to approve, we're approving these ones first, then we're doing the first read.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, 13.3 first read.
Oh, so the first reads first?
Yes.
Okay.
13.3 first read.
First, okay, so these are not being adopted tonight, we are just introducing them as first reads. So, one is, okay, so policy number 51, I have to read all of these? No?
Not necessarily.
Okay, okay. As you can see, we have policy number 5111 all the way through 8651, all for first reads. We will adopt those at our next board, meeting, which will be the 21st of December. Now, I will read these. So item .3.4, policy adoptions. These were given to us last month, and now we do have to approve those. All right, I don't have to read those either then, right, Dr. Reed?
No, they're there. And-
Okay.
and this is
So because you can see them,
and
they
the
are
public has-
online.
Yep, the public has access to
So
it.
yes, so that is a wonderful thing. Okay. So if I can get a motion to approve,
So moved.
second. If I can get any questions or comments? If I can get a roll call?
Mr. Bloomberg, Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Jones,
All right, and with our closing items, did we receive any further public comment?
we have not.
Okay. And there is no need for executive session, am I correct?
There is no need.
Okay. So bearing all, we'll go ahead and if I can have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
I feel so important. All right, guys.
Nice job.
Let us know.